Hi, and welcome to the 2023 Leo Astrology Breakdown. And my name is Shelley Overton. I'm an astrologer in Orlando, Florida. I'm happy to be here with you to walk you through your year. We're going to start with New Year's Eve at midnight-ish, and we're going to adjust it for your rising sign or your sun sign, which is Leo. And because it's later in the day, this is an Orlando chart, but it basically sets up where the planetary positions are for Leo. So it's pretty accurate for you. What I'm going to do is go around your houses, and there will be an extended reading link below after if you are interested in an extended astrology reading month by month for the year of 2023. I will post that to my Patreon page. You can see it for as little as $1, and you can go on over there with the link below, and hope you check that out too. So your first house, Leo, at the beginning of the year, this is like a photograph of New Year's Eve. And there's nothing in your first house, which doesn't mean nothing's going to happen to you this year. Quite the contrary, because the opposite house, the Aquarius house, is stimulated. It has been stimulated for 2 years with Saturn going through Aquarius. And so that means you've been really focused on relationships and partnerships, connecting to others on a more global scale. This is the energy of humanitarianism. It's the energy of entrepreneurship. But naturally, Leo rules romance and connectivity, but Aquarius, the opposite sign, is very much about detachment. So having Saturn go through your house of marriage and partnership, there is a certain amount of detachment. You may have found that you've released partners, or you have really cordoned yourself off from connecting to someone because you felt like you just needed your mental space or clarity about your motivations around partnering. But with Saturn in the house of marriage and partnership, it will go through that energy until March, and then in March it moves on to Pisces. And when it hits Pisces, the energy goes from airy clarity, detachment, to emotional overload and complete immersion in water. It is the sign of flooding, emotions, the chameleon of the zodiac. It is where we are codependent, where we connect to people on a very deep emotional level. So it really is kind of a counterbalance to that Aquarian energy that we felt for a couple of years. That being said, we are going to have Pluto move into Aquarius for a couple months, starting with March, and it does retrograde right in the middle of the year. We'll talk about that in the extended reading and discuss that a little further. But when Pluto goes into Aquarius, it's going to be a stronger energy of expansion around cleaning house. The moment that it goes in, it will release the energy from your house of work and health. And so if you've had issues around health, issues around work, this includes skeletal issues, because Capricorn, which rules your house of work and health, is the assigned ruler of the skeleton and the bones. So this can also include teeth. It includes anything in the body that relates to the bones, the marrow, the skeletal structure as a whole, and even individually. So as Pluto moves out of the house of health, out of the sign of Capricorn, it releases the energy. So if there's something that you've been focused on more around work and health, then you will be able to culminate a new story. It will release. The story will be visited again a couple times over the course of 5 months this coming year and 5 months next year. It is the final transit of Pluto back into Capricorn to really review the last little bits of the issues. And usually issues around Capricorn revolve around issues for Capricorn involve control, fear, really taking more than your share of responsibility for situations. That can mean family members, work environment. In this case, it's probably more work or workaholism, taking on more than your fair share of the workload. So Pluto at n degrees of Capricorn has really pushed to be able to release that need to be always the one that everybody goes to, because that's the nature of Capricorn. And now we're moving into Aquarius. It is really a time of house cleaning emotionally. And that also includes the structure, like I said, with the skeleton. We can hold energy in the skeleton, hold energy of irritation or aggression or even control. And that can lead to things like broken bones, sore backs, things like that. Dental work, not 100%. So know that that's kind of the area of your sixth house in the zodiac, and then it releases into the Aquarius house. So Pluto moving into your Aquarius house will bring an awareness of emotion, what you need to release emotionally, and there will be a lot of energy coming up to clear, and that means energy that you are releasing from the sixth house, and also really seeing what's coming in your house of partnership. And so you'll maybe get an awakening from the deeper scorpionic energy, which for you, Scorpio is the ruler of your home and family sector. Because Pluto rules that area of your life, your home and family area is where you're really passionate, where you're really committed. That is the energy of Scorpio. Currently, we do have the South Node in Scorpio. And the South Node is issues coming from the past. It is what we're familiar with in the realm of the sign it's in. So the South Node is past lives. The energy of Scorpio is you're familiar with being deeply underground with your emotions. You hold them in, you're mysterious. People know that you're intense. You express that intensity through drama. It can mean that you may be more of a reactionary. You may feel that you have to do something about negative situations. You may get bogged down more emotionally and be depressed more often. Scorpio energy tends to hold the emotions close, and so they may not always release the deeper feelings. And so having South Node in Scorpio, we bring in what is familiar in that area. And what's familiar is maybe more of the mystery, the energy of research, wanting to find solutions for problems, which is a very good thing if you don't get bogged down in always looking for the problem, which can only serve to create more problems through the law of attraction. And when the ruling planet of Scorpio, Pluto goes into Aquarius, there will be a square to the cusp of home and family. There will be a square to the Taurus energy at your midheaven and an opposition to your rising sign. So you're really looking at a year, you're looking at a year of growth around home, career, self, and partnership. So it's really going to give you an awakening around the energy of being a leader and looking to be validated for your sense of identity, because Pluto and Aquarius will challenge your dogma, will challenge how you see yourself. It will challenge your ego. And even if you didn't have Leo energy in the first house, and that's rising sign, Sun, Moon, Venus, Mars, Saturn. I go all the way through Saturn, Jupiter, maybe, but more Saturn because it's a longer, slower energy and it's a life purpose energy. So you can really glean more from looking at the Leo energy as well for your life purpose. When you have the Sun ruler and that energy of ego there, you're going to be affected. But even if it weren't Leo, Aries rules the ego in the first house, and that is the natural ruler of the first house. So there will be a hit to the ego for anybody with the energy affecting them transiting the seventh house. In this case, it's Pluto, very heavy hitting energy. Yes, Pluto was demoted to a dwarf planet, but in astrology, it is still a very potent energy. It is plutonium energy. It means there will be a bomb going off in your life and you will have to deal with the fallout, but you will not go back to being the person you were. You are in line, especially plutonic energy will change your life in a very dramatic way on its own. Going into Aquarius, which is the energy of Uranus or uranium, also the bomb. I mean, the atom bomb was created under this energy. It can be extra intense. So I'm giving you a quick heads up for that. Look for Aquarian energy to be the baseline change and shift for you this year. Uranus, which rules Aquarius, is up in your house of career, has been there for a few years, around 10, 11, I think 8 to 10 years. And so having Uranus in Taurus means that you've been really asked to expand your awareness of what the world is. It is an expansive energy. It is becoming enlightened to more energy in a sense of channeled energy, collective energy, the collective mindset coming into your career. It is expressing through Taurus, so it is alternative food and diet, alternative ways of looking at design, ways of looking at aesthetics, ways of looking at retail, ways of looking at your career, your drive to have your own business. And a business in retail is highlighted because Taurus rules retail, it rules fashion, it oversees beauty, aesthetics, the arts. So the voice, Taurus rules the throat. So the voice is part of this. And Uranus wants to connect to the collective. So having Uranus in your career house throughout the year, it will still be there by the end of this year. When it goes direct and retrograde over the course of the year, which we'll also discuss in the extended reading, is when you find there's a shift and understanding comes. There's clarity, then there's confusion, then there's clarity. It can bring in multiple energies, multiple agendas. So Uranus in your career house may mean multiple ways of earning an income, multiple career choices that can confuse you. Taurus wants to take its time to understand the true nature of what is going on in that particular area of the chart of the sky. The North Node is close to Uranus, and the North Node is how we express that which we don't know. And it is the unknown, but it is your fortune. So having your fortune aspect next, or your fortune point, which is a node, it's a point in the sky, next to Uranus is going to mean a major life change. It's a node of fate. So it is a destined shift for you around career. And because the South Node falls in your home and family life, then that is, how does the family support you? And Scorpio is value of self to others. So how do people see your value? And how is your value around the home versus your career? So that is going to be a nodal axis. And the Uranus energy is going to make the complete shift as it's still very close to the node of fate. So you're looking to a major shift in career this coming year. The moon is 1 degree off of Uranus at New Year's Day. And that is the photograph of the year to come. It is like the year being born. So the little infant with the sash that says 2023, this is the chart for that infant. So moon is an indicator of what will come to pass. And in your career house, it is about money. It is about looking at new ways of making money. It is looking at new modalities of making money. Moving on to your 11th house, that's the house ruled by Gemini. It's the natural Aquarian house in the zodiac. And you have Mars, which is the driving force behind a career. Mars has been there since August. When it went into Gemini, you had multiple people come to you, multiple social situations, and it does rule networking for career. So this is where we meet the people who can help us out in our life purpose. It is our soul group house, and it is money from career. It is also expansion of awareness and clarity. It is the genius energy of the zodiac. So when Gemini energy is triggered, because Gemini rules it for you, Gemini is thinking and analysis in the Aquarian house, can't create, when planets transit there, hyper awareness, hyper mental activity. Mars itself is action based. It expands the drive to do things in whatever sign it's in. And so it's a doer in Gemini. In the Aquarius house is very much about entrepreneurship, connecting through voice, media, expansion around broadcasting and getting your voice out, and also writing. It is journaling. It is the sign of writers. And Libra as well is the sign of books. So having Gemini, Aquarius, and any Libra planets, and you have Sirius, which is grains and food down in your house of communications, there may be an aspect or an energy assigned to your voice that is related to helping people with their diet. Mars in Gemini, again, it is expansion around communication. When it goes retrograde, it means that you have to take some ownership and responsibility for what you're putting forth in the collective. And that being taken to task with the retrograde motion is even more accented through the rulership of Gemini, which is Mercury, being in the sign of Capricorn retrograde. And that means that it's working on your home, or excuse me, Mercury is in your house of work and health. So either you're doing something in your work environment that promotes communication and clarity of communication, or because Mercury is now retrograde, there is an event that culminates between your Mars and Gemini in the collective, in your networking house, and Mercury in the work house. These are very closely linked to career and work. And Mercury is saying now you're being taken to task, you're being asked to be responsible. The rules have been broken, or the rules need to be adhered to. And how you express yourself vocally or through words or through expression of written word is going to be taken up as a rallying cry. Either you're going to have to adjust, or someone is overseeing that behavior of yours as a boss or some situation like that, and it's feeling more frustrating for you at this time. That frustration will end in March, or excuse me, that frustration will end in January when Mars goes direct on the 12th. And then we will see a decision being made about what you intend to do, most likely in your work environment and with your career. We have Pallas Athena and the Black Moon Lilith point in the sky in your 12th house, which means you are gaining a very strong feminine warrior goddess and autonomy around your feminine sexual nature within your psyche. This is also connected to home and family because of the Cancer energy that both signs fall, or both energies fall in. And so Cancer, home and family, and mom, this is really, if you are a mother, bringing forth the mother tiger and really having a say in your subliminal energy, as well as psychically, you're really feeling this strong feminine energy. And then Libra, Sirius in Libra in your third house is also giving you voice to express some of that energy. It is feminine nurturing, which tends to be traditionally home, family, food, and domestic agendas. And that can mean, I mean, it's very kind of sexist based or archetypal, but it is like sewing, cleaning, cooking, all of the traditional mom roles that are like sexist or gender assigned to feminine mom energy. Let's see what else. Jupiter in Aries for you, that falls in your ninth house, and the ninth house rules travel. Jupiter in Aries right now is highly motivating to take action around going somewhere. Your ego, your sense of self is very strongly connected to the culture of other countries. This can mean communication. It can mean going to another country to learn, going to another country to get yourself educated in a higher venue of learning, such as a college or a higher institution. Jupiter is the ruler of travel, but it's also the ruler of homes and real estate. So this may trigger you to want to move to a new place. Could be long distance. Aries is also around the energy that supports assertiveness, self-promotion, emergency workers, assistance for any, well, no, not that. Construction. It is trucks, it is guns, knives, blood, violence. Doesn't have to be violent though, it just needs to assert itself. So Jupiter is expansion. It's also very optimistic, and in the ninth house, it is its own home. That's where Jupiter is at home in Sagittarius. So it's about moving forward, not necessarily taking any kind of ownership with Jupiter. Of course, that's being taken by all the Capricorn planets right now, but it is moving forward and wanting to move forward for you. It answers to Mars right now. So there's about 2 weeks in the beginning of the year where you feel really stifled and frustrated to get going with something, whether it's selling a house or moving forward or moving to a new country or new place. But when Mars goes direct, all things will align. Gemini energy is in positive aspect to Jupiter. So your 11th house of connecting to people who can help you, and your ninth house of really understanding a broader a broader knowledge base, are very cooperative. And Gemini is also education. So both energies, Jupiter and Mars, are really closely linked right now to understanding and expansion of awareness. Spiritual growth and taking action around a spiritual agenda is also very connected to this energy. And I'm going to finish off kind of where I started with the Capricorn energy. Capricorn energy for you is currently on the New Year photograph for the year. Capricorn always is ruled by Sun. And so we always come into the year under Sun, which is organizing and structure. It's also government, so it's not surprising that right after the new year, everybody starts getting their taxes together or legal issues and papers. But Capricorn definitely resonates to the material world, to ambition, the structure of business, even bricks and mortar. It is the structure of housing, of roadways, the systems within a government, within a country. So we'll see a lot of those issues come up after the first of the year. We've got Mercury retrograde at 23 degrees in Capricorn, going back to about 8 degrees. 23 to 8 is going to be a strong energy around reviewing and understanding the systems and structures and paperwork, commitments and contracts that are associated with hierarchy, bosses, having the job. So this is, your employment or the overarching structure of the employment. It can mean a review, like I said earlier, about words that have been said. It is very literal communication. Mercury energy in Capricorn wants to hear the truth, wants to know the truth, doesn't tolerate flowery speech. It wants to just be very basic, very down to earth, and tell me the truth, and then, walk your talk, basically. And so you'll really have, I've got chills with this for you. This energy is going to be here through the third week, which is the 21st of January. When it goes direct, then you'll be able to clarify what's really going on. There are some decisions that have to be made. That is in cooperation, well, cooperation in quotes, it's actually in friction to Mars and Gemini. And the energy that comes up with the Mars Mercury is going to be making a decision around work and the people that you are in connection with. It could also mean that someone that you know from your career has not been forthright with you about what they understand or know to be true. Pluto, like I said, it's going into Aquarius. It's wrapping up the energy, trying to get us to really take ownership of, for you, the work arena or your health. Health issues can come up when you're not paying attention to deeper emotional issues, or in your case with Capricorn, dogma and your belief systems that you're rigid about. And then finally, Venus moving into Aquarius on the 2nd of January is going to really highlight women in work, desires, money, and a love situation, and what you plan on doing about love in partnership, or if you're wanting to let go of a relationship. Venus in Aquarius is the time to do it. And that can also relate to someone you know from work, but it goes into the partnership house. So there is a release, but there also is a potential to see someone else or meet someone in a love situation, especially as Venus gets closer to Saturn in about a month. You're going to see a potential of a partner that will let you be more free in how you interact with career or with that relationship. So that's your agenda for the year. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do check out in the comments below, or excuse me, comment below, check out the extended forecast for your sign month to month to see how the year shapes up in more detail. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you share the podcast or this particular video, and we'll see you next year. Bye.
Hi, this is Shelley. Thank you for joining us this week. To contact me for a private reading, go to angeliczodiac.com under the Readings tab. To purchase my ebook, Learn Astrology, you can find it at angeliczodiac.com. Background music was provided by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com. Be sure to check back next week and subscribe through iTunes at Astro Energy Astrology Show.